There's going to be two parts to this experiment. The first part of the experiment, you're going to be taking FTIR spectra of 3 common organic solvents. In the second part of the experiment, you're going to be taking spectra of 5 vegetable oils and an unknown oil. When you first come into lab, the spectrometer should already be turned on and connected to the computer. You do, however, need to log into the computer with your Hawk ID and password. Once you're logged in, on the desktop you need to click on the Untitled Software icon. This window will open up. You just need to press OK. And then you can maximize the window. And then you need to load a configuration. Hit OK if this window pops up. All right. To open the configuration, you need to go to File, Open Configuration, and then open the Veg Oil Summer configuration and hit Open. The window will look like this. Once the software is open, then we are going to take a blank spectra. To do this, you're going to be using salt plates. So you're going to need to take the salt plates out of the desiccator, and they come in these pouches. You need to carefully look at the salt plate to make sure it is free of any significant scratches or nicks. If it has significant scratches or nicks, inform the TA or instructor and they will obtain a new set of salt plates if necessary. We need to clean the salt plates with acetone before we put them in the spectrometer. So to do this, you take the acetone and you gently spray the acetone on the salt plate, making sure to not touch the plastic tip of the acetone bottle to the salt plate. Once you rinse the salt plate, you can set it on a clean Chem wipe to dry while you clean the other salt plate. Make sure you, again, clean both sides. The salt plates are very fragile, so you do not want to, when you're drying the salt plate with the Chem wipe, you do not want to rub or press down very hard, but you just want to gently tap and pat the salt plate. Once the salt plates are dry, you can make a salt plate sandwich. You can take the holder for the salt plates and insert the salt plate sandwich into the holder clamp. And now this is ready to be inserted into the spectrometer. You can take the holder with the salt plates and you can open up the spectrometer and just flip the lid open. And then you can just slide the holder into either slot. The important thing is to make sure that the slot is facing the same way for every spectra you take. So I have it with this blue side facing this side of the spectrometer. And all that's left to do is just close the lid and lock it down. Now we are ready to take the background spectra. You only need to take one background spectra per experiment. You should just double check that the background spectra is being saved for 1500 minutes by opening up the experimental setup window. And under this collect tab, just make sure the collect background after 1500 minutes is checked, and then you can hit OK. Now we are ready to collect the background, so all you need to do is hit the collect background button. And it says, please prepare to collect the background spectrum. And you can hit OK. And then to start the collection, you should hit the Start Collection button. The spectrometer is set up to take 16 scans, so you can see the progress of the scans in the lower left-hand corner. Once it is done collecting, it asks you if you want to add to window 1, and you can hit yes. And this will open up the spectrum in a window where you can find peaks or save it as you wish. When the spectrometer is done collecting the background spectrum, you can take the holder with the salt plate sandwich out of the spectrometer. You can just unclip it. And you're going to need to rewash the salt plates. Make sure to wash both sides. And set on a clean Chem wipe to dry. Now we are going to pipette 20 microliters. So I have my micro pipette set to 20 microliters of our organic solvent onto the salt plate. My salt plate is still a little wet, so I'm going to just gently blot it dry with a Chem wipe. Now we're ready to pipette organic solvent, so I'm going to be taking a spectrum of methyl ethyl ketone. So put the pipette in, and then you can just put the drop in the center of the salt plate, making sure to not touch the plastic pipette tip directly on the salt plate. You're going to make another salt plate sandwich. And it's okay if some of the solvent sort of leaks out the side of the salt plate. You can just wipe the excess off with another Chem wipe. All right. And you can just insert your salt plate sandwich back into the holder. Clamp it down. And then the holder is ready to be put back into the spectrometer. So once the sample spectrum is done collecting, you need to shorten the window. So you need to go into View and then scroll down to Display Limits. And right now our x-axis is going from 4,000 wave numbers to 400. And you just want to change the 400 to 700. And then hit OK. We want to find the peaks that are shown here and assign wave number values to them. So you're going to go into Analyze, Find Peaks, and then you're going to move this baseline up and down until you can see some of the peaks get number labels. You want to make sure that the baseline here is low enough so you get peaks labeled in all the different spectral regions. And then once you are satisfied where the baseline is placed, you need to hit this gray Replace button. And this will save the wave number labels onto the spectrum. Now, if you need to adjust the y-axis, you can again, like this peak here is a little cut off. You can again go into View, Display Limits, and then I can increase the y-axis limit to 6.5. It looks like I have to do that again. All right, and now you can see the full spectrum is visible in the window. So now we are ready to save the file. So you need to go to File, Save As, and you want to save this under the C drive. Under the C drive, you want to hit Users, and then scroll down into Public Documents, and then you can save it under name a folder with maybe your name and the date. All right, and you want to save this file both as a CSV and as a spectrum file. So I'm going to save this one as the CSV file. I'm just going to repeat the procedure, but then save this as the spectra file. So in the Save As Type button down here, you can just hit Spectra, and the name should carry over from the CSV file, so you can just hit save. So once you take the one spectrum of the sample, you need to repeat that 4 times with the same sample, and then you need to repeat that with your other 2 organic solvents 5 times each. You should have a total of 30 files saved for the organic solvents when you're done, 15 saved in the spectra format and 15 saved in the CSV format. In terms of sample collection and preparation, that is all there is to this lab. You just need to repeat the procedure 5 times per organic solvent and 5 times for each vegetable oil. So once you are done collecting all of your spectra for the day, you can remove the salt plate from the sample holder, clean and rinse the salt plate, place them back into their pouches, and put the salt plates back into the desiccator. You can then clean up your waste. The only thing to note is the organic solvents and oil waste, your sample waste, needs to be put into the waste container labeled FTIR, but your acetone solvent waste can be put into the hood in the beaker and the lab staff will take care of it.